You're listening to Zap Night, a video game review podcast, with your hosts, Danny and Kaylie. Hey guys, welcome to Zap Night. This is your host, Danny.
And I'm your co-host, Kaylie.
This is episode 7 for Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Yay! I love this game.
So let's get into it. It's developed by Nintendo, it's published by Nintendo. This is a Nintendo child at heart. This one specifically, the New Leaf version, is on the 3DS, and it's only on the 3DS. They do have, the original Animal Crossing game was on the GameCube, and that came out in 2001, and since then they've made 6 other games.
Plus an update.
5, 6. And New Leaf was released in 2012. I originally picked up this game a while ago because I liked the Animal Crossing series. I played the original GameCube version when it came out, and that's kind of what got us hooked on it.
Do you still have your original memory card for it?
I do, yeah, I do. That has the extra stuff on it. Yeah, that's what got me hooked. And what's funny is this game really isn't a normal progression game. It really is just a meditative game more than anything else. You're just playing it to hang out, zone out, collect some stuff, pay off your house, try and make your house look fancy.
I don't know. Before we did this playthrough again, I'm scared to see how many hours I actually have docked in my game.
Is there a place that you can see how many hours you got?
I don't know. I've never actually tried to look.
I was gonna look it up, but I didn't, because Pokemon got in the way. We'll get into that.
So the funny thing about this, which is what we're going to go over a little bit too in here, is that the Amiibo update just happened to update as we were playing through this game.
Yeah, literally the week that we picked up this game to start playing it, right after the last review, they announced this big update. And it was a hardcore update. I think they updated the cartridge itself. Because when you launch the title now, the title says "Welcome to Amiibo" on it.
Yeah.
So, and that's what the update's called. So now the official title of this game is Animal Crossing New Leaf Welcome Amiibo. That's the name.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, actually. I'm not crazy about it, but
So, story-wise, you're basically a villager who is showing up into this new town, and for unexplained reasons, you're the mayor. They kind of go into it where the old mayor shows up before he goes to the island, and he says, "Thanks for coming and taking over as mayor." But they don't really explain. They don't really need to explain, but they don't explain why you're mayor. You just are. So you show up in this new town, they hand you the keys to the city, and you're off. Your goal really is to create the perfect town for you, but also for your villagers. And your villagers are typically, if you've never played an Animal Crossing game, basically you are a human and everyone else are like little animals. Your villagers can be like little deer or
kitty cats. Oh, they got a whole bunch
turtles.
of them.
They got all sorts of stuff.
I like the hamsters.
But on top of having the perfect town, which is your ultimate goal, you also want to have all the items that you can collect for your catalog, which is all the
stuff you can order.
The furniture for your house.
Yeah, and even the stuff that you can't reorder, but you still have to fill out that catalog, because some of them you can't reorder.
And then build your house to be as big as you can get it, to build all the buildings within your town, so you can also add more bridges, you can add a police department, you can add some other stuff.
You can expand on your museums, and you can even customize your town hall and your train station.
Right, and the museum too, where you want to collect all the fish and all the fossils and bugs and art.
If you've played Animal Crossing, it's the usual shebang as far as the museum's
it really
concerned.
is. It's very typical for Animal Crossing. I think if you're going to compare the original Animal Crossing to the newer ones, all that really changes is some of the interactions between your villagers and the environments that you're put into, the islands were kind of new for this game. They had an island in the GameCube version, but it was kind of weird. I don't know. it really is pretty much the same game when you're looking at it.
Really, though, I think that the important thing is that they took what we wanted out of these older Animal Crossing games and just made a new, better game.
Added more stuff, and
And when I played the GameCube one, I was crazy about all of the dishes that looked like food and stuff, and they've got a lot of them in the New Leaf game. So yeah, they got quite a bit of. I like this one out of their series.
So for story, there really isn't any story other than it's your own adventure. And I kind of like that when you're considering a storyline. I also don't like it because there's no real end to the game. You can kind of just keep playing this game until you've collected literally everything. But I found myself getting bored kind of fast.
Yeah, well, with the replay for me, I got bored really fast. The first few weeks I played religiously. I was on top, because my previous game, I had a perfect town, I had flowers, I mean, it looked, I'm embarrassed to say, it looked amazing, I won't lie.
Spent a lot of time in that game.
And I didn't want to spend that much time in this game, and just because it was,
part 2.
Yeah. It was, I don't know, with the update, it made it more fun, and I think with my older file, my original file that I still have, I think I will go back and play it a little bit more and just kind of, it's nice to come back to it. I think the update really did help it.
I think that's what they wanted.
Yes.
They wanted you to get back into the game and probably get you hyped up for a new one that they're probably going to be making soon.
With this update, though, what I really liked, I got the Happy Home Designer, and it was okay. If I had the actual physical copy of the game, I would have taken it back.
Happy Home Designer is a completely different game, right? So
yes, that's when you
how does it tie the two together?
Well, in Happy Home Designer, you're actually just a designer that designs homes and stuff. Well, they tie that in so that with the update, you can actually rearrange your furniture down in your bottom screen. So you can move stuff around instead of having to drag your furniture everywhere back and forth.
I get that, but I guess what I don't understand is how...
That's about it.
how do you put in the game Home Designer to launch it that way, or because you have a save file of Home Designer on your SD that it lets you use that feature?
When you go to actually update it, it tells you that I think you can... I honestly don't know if you have the actual physical copy, but it told me that if you have a digital download, that's okay too. So they said it didn't matter which one you had, and it walks you through the steps. So it just walked me through the steps of having my digital copy, and it let me update my game through the Happy Home Designer. Because you update the game.
Home Designer.
You update the game separately, and then you can sync your Happy Home Designer.
That's okay. That's where I'm confused.
That.
I didn't really understand how the two tied together. Because my game, I don't have that, but I also don't have Home Designer, but I don't really understand how the two communicated between each other.
The cool thing is, though, too, is that because I'm playing with two different files, I actually could sync my Happy Home Designer to both files.
Nice.
So if I really wanted to, I could update yours, and I could update, whoever's.
Right.
Should I decide to. At least I think so.
Okay, so anyway, back to story. Again, you're basically creating your own adventure and building relationships with the other townsfolk, which is city folks, the other name. But with the town people, again, progressing to get that perfect town. But as per usual, the Animal Crossing series has this really cute little startup where you're on a bus or you're on a train or you're doing something. And this one, you're on a train and a little kitten comes up and was like, "Hey, where are you going? What's your name? Oh, that's cool." Sort of thing, kind of setting you up to be either a girl or a boy, or
facial
adding your name to it.
Different questions will actually depend on what your face looks like.
Yeah, too. I've heard that.
So I guess the only thing that didn't really make sense for the story is that they just gave this random person. You're the mayor.
I know, that's the only...
Good luck.
That's the real only question mark that I had in this game was, why am I mayor?
But
there's no reason behind it.
Animal Crossing, because it's so simplistic, it's just like, well...
I guess I'm mayor. Yeah. And what's funny is, though, that even when you show up in town, you have all these, like, when, what's her name? Isabel, when she's asking you questions when you first start up,
she asks, you have the option to be like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah,
I'm not the mayor.
you have the option of saying that you have no idea what's going on, and I found that interesting.
You're so silly.
Yeah, and she does. She avoids it. It's weird. So for story, I just gave it a simple 6 out of 10.
I gave it a 7.
There's not much for story, but I didn't want to dock it for it because it really doesn't need it.
I mean, I guess not, but I feel like it's simulating very simplistically life.
Sure.
So I mean,
and it's basics. So graphic wise, really simple. I mean, it's a simple graphic.
Yeah,
it's its own thing. They're not trying to go realistic. It's typical Nintendo. They're not trying to go realistic. They're not trying to break the graphic barrier. They're just Animal Crossing has their own look,
signature art style,
and they build on that from the original. But when you play the original, if you get a GameCube version of it, oh my gosh, it's basically the same thing. There's really not much difference.
No, it's a lot cleaner.
That's true.
And you got different, I think in the GameCube one you had the volleyball and stuff, like the different balls you could play with. Where in this one you get snow and there's different, when you make a snowman, they come together and they add little snowflake little effects. I mean, it was just those little things. And
oh yeah, these games, the newer games, are definitely prettier.
Well, I think I'm just saying
overall. I mean, style wise, it's basically the same game. I mean, basically the same look to it. When you look at a character, that it's Animal Crossing.
I guess for me I don't feel like the simplistic art style should really even pull from the graphics, because they got very detailed in some of these items you can get.
Right, yeah, that's true. And the amount of work that they put into all of these items really goes into where the graphics, not really graphics, but the time and development for this game, because there is a ton of stuff in here.
So, what did you give for it for gameplay?
Graphics?
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I
probably should have done an 8.
I gave it a 9. I loved the more. Yeah, I know. I really loved the more polished look. I didn't really notice any crazy glitches or anything.
Yeah, no. There definitely wasn't anything that drew away from it.
I liked it. I was very impressed with it, especially it being its own style. I liked it. I gave it a 9.
Yeah, good. So gameplay. This is where this game really shines. Is what you can do in this game is just above and beyond what a lot of other games really try to achieve. You can go as simple as just you show up every day and you water flowers. If that's all you did every single day, it would get complicated, because you have, your flowers. If you put 2 and 2 together, they will make a new flower and a different color, and just so many different aspects of things you can do in this game. The game goes with real time, so if you wake up in the morning, it's going to have kind of a morning look to it. If you go at night, it's going to be dark. If you're in the middle of the day, the sun's going to be shining. They have weather effects. They have...
And it really affects more than that, too. Like your fish and your bugs. Different fish and bugs appear at different times of the day.
Or different seasons.
Yeah.
Different times of the year. To play this for only 1 month really doesn't give the game justice. I mean, I feel confident in giving a decent review only because I've played this game for a significant amount of time beforehand. Mm-hmm. Not quite as much as you.
Yeah.
But, for just to sit down and play for a month is a good refresher. But really, I've put in quite a bit of time myself too, so I'm fair in my review of it. I feel like it's fair. But if you're gonna sit down and play this, if you're gonna literally complete it in a month, you have to do a lot of time travel in this game.
Oh yeah.
Where basically you change the clock to change your day, because you can play about an hour and do everything that you want to do in your town for the day. And really, that's what I liked about this game, is that at night I could sit down for an hour and just kind of zone out and play it and, go and collect my fossils and water my flowers. And if I still feel like I'm up for it, I can go to the island and collect some bugs and try and sell some stuff. But really, an hour is all you need. So if you're going to play this from, to collect everything, to do it in a month, you'd have to play it for an hour, change your clock. Play it for an hour, change your clock. Play it for an hour, change your clock. It would be very difficult.
Oh my gosh.
It would be very difficult. But I think for me, all I really got was I did about a quarter of my museum. Not that I finished any of one thing, but I got quite a few fossils. I did quite a few bugs. I did quite a few fish. I got maybe 2 or 3 pieces of art.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. Only because I think that guy,
he only shows
Red's only there
once
a week.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to do that.
And you have to, the fun thing about Red's is you have to, if you don't know the art and you don't look it up, there's forgeries. There's only one actual real artwork.
Sometimes.
No?
Sometimes there's more than one.
Well,
but
you gotta figure out which one.
Right. So there's a ton of fake art that this guy sells in his shop. And he only comes to your town once a week, and you have the option of picking one of the 4 items in his shop. And most of them are fake, and only 1 or 2 of them are legit. And you either have to look them up, or you have to really know your art in order to get the one that you can donate to the museum.
As kid-friendly as this game is, the artwork kind of pushes it a little bit.
Oh, for the art.
Some of the statues and
it's
stuff.
Really just it's
art. It's
traditional
funny.
art. It's it's the big name artists that you're seeing.
I just think it's funny that they.
I get it.
I guess it doesn't matter. I just thought it was funny that they had no problem putting some of these art pieces in there. There's so much artwork out there.
I know. Yeah, that's true. And some of them are kind of like, what? Why? What's with this dog and the kids suckling on the dog? I don't get it.
The gameplay, though, with all of the stuff, there's so much to do. You got your different event, the game. It's basically life, but more fun, without all the crazy bills.
Yeah, it's like life without the bad stuff.
Yeah,
it's like you can, but that's part of what this game is awesome about, is that you can just pick it up and zone out and just do your thing and not worry about real world
by playing life.
I like that you can just kind of pick it up, and I like that you can set this game down for a year and pick it back up again, and it's like you never left. All your animals are still there. Some of them might be a little pissed off that you've been gone for a year, but
I think in past Animal Crossing games, if you were gone for a while, they would move out.
Yeah,
they would. This one, they're a little more lenient on that. They just are like,
I remember one of the neat aspects of the older games is that you could put a whole bunch of money in your bank account.
Oh, and you could collect the interest.
And then you could teleport 5 years into the future and collect all that interest. Well, then your town is covered in mushrooms and weeds and your flowers are all dead and your townsfolk are ticked off at you. So then you have to do all this maintenance, but then you have all this money that you can do whatever you want with.
But see, the nice thing though is especially with this one, when you go to the island at a certain time, you can collect all these beetles.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I did. My whole day consists of going into my town, watering all my flowers, finding a few of the fossils that I could, and then going to the island, where then you would collect as many beetles as the little box would hold, and go back and sell them, because the beetles would sell for some ridiculous prices.
Yeah, you could get I could
12,000.
You could get to 300. Yeah, for it would take about an hour. Yeah. Although on the flip side, I stopped paying off my house after a while because I knew I wasn't going to be playing this game after I was done. And instead, whenever I get, so many bells in my own pocket, as soon as they started overflowing your money bag, I would go and deposit them into a savings, and I would get up to, quite a bit. I think I saved up 500,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something like that.
I think I maxed out at about 500,000 in my bank account, and then I just started paying Tom. And I did pretty good on my house. That was my goal when I started this, is I really wanted to just pay off my house, and I didn't make it. Like, even going to the island almost every single day, collecting as many bugs as I could, and there were some days where bugs would not show up.
Yeah.
And it would be like, I would go at the same time every day, and I knew I was going the same time every day because I would set my clock for the same time every day. And they still, like, sometimes they would show up like crazy, and other times they wouldn't show up at all.
Yeah.
But I still wasn't able to pay Tom off to get the max
fully,
house.
Yeah.
I think I did get every room.
My completed game, I finally did get everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's, if you think about it, though, you collect all that money. That's a lot of money.
I know.
And, you know, they sell two different crowns, like a crown, I think a tiara, or just like a mini crown. And they're, like, super expensive. You could probably buy one of those with all the money you put into your house.
Wow.
As opposed to, it's a lot of money.
So yeah, on top of the weather changes, they have all the events they have about one a month. They have, like, a bug event. They have general... Well, they have holidays.
They're holidays. And then then
they also have, like, a bug event and a fishing event, and they have just random... Like, one day I went in to do something... I wanted to build a bridge, and I did eventually do 2 bridges. But I went in to actually build the bridge, and the lady was like... The lady... What's her name? Isabel? She was like, no, take the day off, because... I don't remember what.
There was an event?
There was an event going on. And she's like, no, just take the day off. And I'm like, no, I want to do this. I don't want to take the day off.
I have more important matters to attend to.
The only bad things that I really have to say about this gameplay-wise, there's no real antagonist. There's no bad guy, aside from maybe Tom Nook.
No, I think it's gotta be Red.
Really? You think so? He's like shady, I guess, but...
Well, Tom Nook used to be, he was pretty bell hungry, let's be honest. But I mean, he didn't try and necessarily rip you off like Red does.
Yeah, that's true. What I wish I could do in this game is just say to Tom, look, I want to buy my mansion, and I'll just pay you
right now.
Yeah, I'll just pay you everything, as I get it. That way I know exactly how much, because
that's real life for you.
I'm sure I could find it online somewhere, but I don't know how much my house is after I've paid everything off. Like, how much is the house? It's insane.
It gets pretty expensive.
Because every room expansion is like 400,000 or more. So, I mean, you start getting into a couple million at least.
How far did you upgrade your shop? Your
I upgraded it once.
Just once?
Yeah,
really?
Just once. It was about halfway through when I thought, oh my goodness, I should be buying everything in the shop to upgrade it. And that's when it was only like a couple weeks in.
Have you ever got it to the point where you got the Gracie shop? It's for the super expensive items. The big giraffe. No?
I think I remember seeing it in Lori's game.
Yeah.
But I don't think I had it.
Those right there.
Where it was like a mall.
If you wanted to collect your this specific type of furniture, it would cost about as much to upgrade your house.
Jeez.
It got pretty expensive too.
Wow.
And I put a lot of time and money into that stuff too, my older game. But yeah, my big complaint is, which we kind of touched on already, is I don't feel like the replayability, it's there, and especially if you haven't played it for a while, because once in a while I would pick my game up and I'd play it for like a month and then I'd forget about it and stuff, but to start over for this month, starting over, I wanted to achieve what I had in my older game, and it's a lot of work, and it just wasn't as fun, and I wanted to find the perfect town layout, and I couldn't achieve that. I didn't want cherries in my town, I wanted apples, and
you can't guess that ahead of time.
No, you can't. And I did restart my game like 12, I don't know, several times.
Really?
Yeah. And eventually
I didn't restart at all.
I settled for cherries. Every time I've played my game, I've always, for some reason, settled for pears. And I think pears are so boring.
I ended up getting cherries in my game, too. And day one, I got a perfect cherry. So I had like a perfect cherry grove.
Yeah, they have a couple.
Is it perfect cherry?
Yeah. But,
7... Okay, so if you were to... This is for the house. So if you were to upgrade your house all the way, it would end up costing you $7 million, over $7 million, so $7.5 million bells.
Is that including the update with the secret?
I don't know.
Your secret storage.
I did buy that, and I never looked to find it because I didn't furnish anything other than my main room.
Well, it's supposed to be in your the bottom of your screen next to your light switch. You're supposed to click the button, and it gives you the extra storage. That's it. There's no actual room. It's just an extra
storage space,
which helps me in my original game because I had a room dedicated to, so it looked like an attic type room.
Well, didn't you have
It's stuff buried throughout my town.
Oh, I was thinking you actually made extra characters to have stuff in their houses too.
I did do that
because you had so much stuff. There's a handful of downfalls to the gameplay, but the upside to the gameplay is when you're playing this the first time through, you get addicted really easily. And it's fun to go and collect everything and try and figure everything out and, showing up on people's birthdays and going to their house. It's crazy.
Another thing that I didn't add to this, when I used to work at a retail store, and one of the ladies I worked with played this game too, and she actually played with her daughter, who was, like an 8 kid, 8-year-old or something. And this is how it's kind of always been, but you can create multiple characters. So the first one you create is the mayor. But if you're playing, you put it down, you go off somewhere, and your kid your kid can actually play this too, and he or she can have their own character, and it's not solely
they
you
may
have
not
to
be
play.
the mayor,
right?
But
you have your own character.
Still collect stuff.
I think you can have up to 4 total, which is including the mayor. So only 3 extra.
And what I noticed in this gameplay is that if you start a game in someone else's town, you can actually move from your town to be a mayor in your own town, which is kind of neat. So if you're playing, 2-player on one cartridge and you get a second cartridge, you can move your character over, which is a really neat feature. Which, by the way, before we end talking about gameplay, I want to talk about multiplayer. Because there's a ton of stuff you can do with,
and it's fun.
What is it, up to 4 people you can connect with?
Yes.
So, I mean, you can
multiplayer on your mini games on the island, because there's a bunch of mini games. And then on top of that, you can visit each other's towns.
Right.
Which, on the flip side, you don't have to have another person to play. Like, this game is totally fine by yourself, too, at the same time. The only thing I think that is noticeable is your villagers once in a while want you to get signatures from another town. But you can decline.
They'll also ask you to pick up fruit that isn't native in your town.
But you can get those from your parents, mail them in the mail.
That's true, yeah.
So, I mean, it's
nice to have a little stockpile of different fruit in your town, just in case.
Well, they sell for more than your native fruit.
Right, they do. I think your native fruit is 400, or is it 200? Per fruit.
I don't know.
I think it's like double if you get something outside of your town.
And especially if it's perfect, like it's even more like perfect fruit from another town is.
Yeah, but you can't grow perfect fruit.
You can't.
You can only grow perfect fruit of your native town. So if your town is native to cherries, you can only grow perfect cherries in your town. You can't grow perfect anything else.
Which, I mean, is not a big deal.
I know, it
just helps if you have
keeping your money, balanced. Without making it too easy.
One last thing, I know this gameplay has a lot, because this game actually has a lot to offer despite there being no story. What did you select for your town ordinance? Did you have the beautiful town?
I think I did the money.
The money, more money.
One. Yeah.
I chose beautiful town because I wanted a perfect town.
What does that do? Does that make your villagers plant flowers and stuff? Or?
Yeah, they plant the flowers and they keep up on the watering so they don't actually wither.
Oh, nice.
The only thing, not as many weeds show up, but you still have to pull one once in a while, but that's not that big of a deal. But yeah, for me, what I used to do was, in my other game, I would go to the island, and I would play mini games, and while I was doing hide and seek and stuff, I would actually collect flowers and bring them back with me. Nice. And so my town, I would have like one corner would just be littered with flowers till I decided to sort through. And I mean, I had my town got, and I didn't have to water them, which was great because your watering can, until you get the gold one, you can only water one at a time. That's a lot of flowers to be watering.
I noticed that the flowers on the island never withered. So I was kind of collecting some flowers at the island and trying to, plant them, moving the flowers that were already there and planting them in a way that they could multiply and, you know, make a little
your
flowering
hybrid
plant
flowers
there, and then you don't have to water those.
I got pretty crazy with the flower breeding. I had the blue roses and stuff, gold roses.
I was happy to find a pink one. Like, oh, it's pink! You can't buy pink flowers.
I like how when you put flowers in your house, that they have their, like, each flower has its own kind of pot and stuff. It's really cute.
I like that too. I liked putting bugs. I had a pet hermit crab.
I did too. You know, the goldfish have a different bowl, and the ant, if you put an ant in your house, it has a little, like, ant farm.
Oh, that's cute.
And they have, a couple of them have different little, not all of them, but a couple of them.
Just the stuff in this game.
I know, it's just the little stuff.
It's crazy. So what did you give it for gameplay?
I gave it a 10 out of 10.
I don't blame you. I gave it a 9 out of 10. The only reason why I wasn't a 10 is
you can't finish it.
No, not really, because that doesn't bother me so much. It's coming back and playing it again was more of a chore than it should have been. And I think that was my biggest complaint, is that I think I would have preferred to just continue playing my old game than to pick it up brand new again.
I did get to that. In fact, near the end, I stopped putting stuff in my museum. I stopped donating to because, you know, those animals, they don't donate to the public projects. They're like, yeah, here's like 5 cents, and you're
I know,
putting down $100 bill.
I know, I noticed that.
But yeah, I stopped. The only thing I did continue on was collecting the new items that came with the Happy Home Designer.
Sure. And
the new campground that they added.
So while we're in gameplay, let's talk about the update. Along with what you were talking about with the Home Designer edition.
So you get a new campground with, and I didn't write down his name. One of the new characters.
I don't know his name either.
He's like a little dog.
He's like a little hippie dog.
Yeah.
He's really cute.
He sits outside at this campground and he sells 2 new items every day.
He camps in a little, like, van.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
And you have 2 spots. One spot is there's a new person every day, and that person, the first spot is usually someone that you've already, so if you haven't done, like, the Thanksgiving event yet, that guy won't pop up until you have that Thanksgiving event. But if you have, those people that only show up once in a while pop up in this camper, and you can get the newer items that they have in there. It's kind of like their house, but not
like event villagers only. Like,
no, not all. Well,
like, you know, the ghost guy that is there on Halloween.
Yes, the pumpkin guy.
Yeah, you
got that guy. Those types of events, people like the Halloween,
they show up in the campground.
I noticed that the police officers pop up because I not in my new game, but the old game I did pop in, and the police officer popped in because I have the police station at my town. So I'm assuming, you know, depending on certain things, but yeah, these different characters. Now, if you have amiibos, you have the ghost wisp guy from previous games. He shows up, and you can interact with him too if you have an amiibo. So I had a couple Animal Crossing ones, and so I'll say the alpaca, the pink alpaca. I pop the pink alpaca on top of my thing, and he replaces the pink alpaca, and the pink alpaca goes to your campground.
Oh,
so she has her own set of furniture and stuff that you can order from. You can only order 3 a day. But in the meantime, you can't actually interact with that character where she was originally because the ghost has replaced her. So you can't actually sell and buy stuff from that store.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, It is kind of strange. I didn't like that, but... Because, I mean, how hard would it really be to let you... But in any case...
Yeah, just let us sell and trade and stuff with the little ghost guy.
The other things that they did do, too, that I noticed... I didn't actually stop to look up all of what the new updates were.
Right.
But you can sit on rocks now. You didn't used to be able to. You could actually sit on them.
I did notice that.
Yeah, you can do that with stumps and stuff, but you can't... You didn't used to be able to do it with rocks. But then also, with the exception of the axe and I think the shovel, you can shake trees now while holding
yes,
equipment.
I noticed that too, because what I would have to do to catch bees, I would shake a tree, and if a
Run.
bee fell out, I would have to hurry up and whip out my net and catch the bee. Where now you can walk around with the net and shake the tree with the net in your hand and then catch the bee right away. There's no like time delay that you got to worry about. And the bees go for like 4,000.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive.
They're nice, and you can get 5 or 6 of them in your town if you spend enough time shaking trees.
There's just so many little details.
Oh, I know. We could go on and on and on. It really comes down to if you are into collecting stuff
just
and
doing stuff,
just like zoning out and not having like an ultimate destination to your video game. This is a great game to just pick up and play.
Very
and just
easy
play
mode.
Whenever you feel like playing. It's the kind of game that you can pick up and play for 10 minutes, or you can pick up and play for 2 hours. It really, there's no main storyline to it, so you don't have to remember what you had done before. You just, you just pick up and play it. And that's a big appeal to a lot of people.
With this update too, it really brought because this Animal Crossing was a good game. And when Happy Home Designer came out, what I really wanted out of Happy Home Designer was for Animal Crossing and Happy Home Designer to be together and have a baby.
And that's exactly what happened with this update.
The only other thing that I ever thought would have been great for this game is if instead of being just a mayor, like you have multiple jobs that you could apply for. So you could do mayor, you could do home designer, you could do shop clerk. I mean, I think that would have been fun if you could have different occupations.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But with the being able to move your furniture and stuff, that's so nice.
Yeah, you'll have to show me that, because the biggest problem with me for the update was that I don't have Home Designer, and 2, I don't have a new 3DS, and so I would either have to buy the Amiibo adapter, and use my Amiibos that way, or use it with your DS.
Yeah,
and I just didn't. It's like it's extra. I don't care that much, but
the nice thing is you don't have to have it.
No, you don't.
But
it does make it a little bit more fun.
I did collect quite a few cards like a month ago because they went on sale for like 25 cents.
Home Designer bombed.
Well, no, it was just this one. It was Series 4, I think. Oh. The other series were still expensive, but they were like a quarter that the store was just getting rid of. So I bought them all. So I had all these cards. Well, they're coming out with new cards that you can pull them into that campground. But with the current cards, you can have the option to have them either move to your town, or you can have them give you a random item, and they'll give you extra coupons, which is what the currency you use at the campground, which we didn't touch on about. But I don't want to have to buy more cards for like these special cards. But it adds a little nice, like, you can control who moves into your town then, and you can, I haven't done it, but I think you can kick someone out, and you can choose who.
That would be nice.
Which is really nice, because I have
some people that are just jerks.
I have some really ugly villagers.
My last game, I had a rat that would not leave, and no matter how much I bullied him around,
you can't bully him in this game.
He would not leave, and I just gave up. Like, well, whatever. I guess he's not leaving.
Who's your favorite villager? Do you have one?
My last game, there was a little mouse. She was really cute. She was
I really like the mice.
She was a little like black and purple mouse. Aww. It seems like, I don't know.
I loved Stitches the bear, and I want his card so bad because it doesn't matter because I have him in my original game, but he's just a teddy bear. And at first it was kind of creepy because he looked like a haunted teddy bear almost, but he grew on me. He looks like a little teddy bear. He's like patches. He's got patches.
Sure, yeah.
The villagers are very cute.
I want to know about the currency in the campground.
So the
I thought it was like DLC.
No, well, some of them are.
That's the way that it seemed like that in order to get more of this currency, you had to buy it.
No. So they're called meow coupons. I don't know I forget what the acronym was. Meow is an acronym. So you have they added like initiatives for the day, like 2 initiatives for like the week, and I think a couple for like a day or something like that.
Like
and
goals, yeah.
So
each day or week.
2 of them are like you can get 5 coupons for the 2 goals, and the others are like 2 or 3. but they ask you to do stuff like sell, clean your clutter and sell something from your house to the retail shop, or they'll ask you to spend like 800 bells at the clothing store, or collect one of the bugs here, or donate to your museum, and you can do those little things, and some of them are harder, which you get more of the coupons for. If you do the amiibo thing and you summon someone, you get 5 automatically, even if you don't ask them to move to your town or whatever.
Do you get it each time that you summon them, or
you can only do it once a day? So you mean you could just save and go the next day, or use a new character. But yeah, and then you use those coupons at the campground, and the campers you can order furniture from. You can only order 3 per day, and they cost like 3 each. But the 2 items that the dog is selling cost 5 each.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's okay. The amiibo, if you have amiibo figures and you have the adapter 3DS, it's nice. You don't even have to have Animal Crossing ones specifically. You can actually. We had like Ganon that we could use, and he showed up as like this big pig. And we had the
so fitting.
We had the Twilight Princess amiibo figure, and it was the wolf head. It was just the Link wolf head. It was kind of cool. And they got pertaining to that character they've got and I don't think there was very many that was very compatible that wasn't Animal Crossing, but you could use them. Yeah,
to have more use out of your amiibo.
Yeah.
Other than whatever you bought your amiibo for, whether it be just for display or, for a game specifically.
But it's nice to have these newer furniture options.
Pokemon ones?
I did, and they didn't give me an option. Yeah, I was a little sad. But I only had Pikachu and Jigglypuff, so...
Anything else with gameplay before we move on?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's not it.
Right, yeah. No, that's all we really need to touch on for now.
There's a lot. There's a lot of stuff.
Let's move on to music and sound effects then. And I say sound effects because when the animals talk, they have text and they make a noise, but the noise that they're making is kind of
just
speech.
Gibberish.
No, it's not. It kind of is there. Like, you can still hear the words that they're saying.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I think maybe, like, you think you're hearing, like, Japanese, almost, when they say, like, goodbye and stuff. I don't know.
I was thinking that it was, like,
you'll hear
robotic
like,
something.
Oh.
I've wanted to record it and slow it down just to see, but I've been too lazy. Yeah, just to see if the like long sentences, if they're actually saying each word. But I haven't done it.
I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
Why? Are you saying because I
gave it an 8, and the reason why I gave it an 8 was mostly because of how relaxing the music really was. My only downfall really was that it was forgettable.
Yeah.
But only to an extent. I really liked how they changed it. They changed it per season, but then they also changed it for like when Thanksgiving was up not too long ago. It was a different song in the town, and I really liked that.
I probably could have given it more because I didn't take into consideration that you could have music in your house. But it's okay. I'm not crazy about all of it. Like, there are some, like, especially when it's snowing, it's very relaxing. But I guess, I don't know. It's hit and miss. Like, especially during summertime. Oh, I hate the bugs.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
It made me feel hot.
Yes, it does. It has that hot.
And your character actually does this.
Yeah, and I think being in the Midwest, it really relates to where we are locally. I mean, they really experience each of the seasons, and so do we. I mean, we really have, when summer hits, it's hot, it's muggy, the bugs just intensify that.
Your character walks out of the house and it's pulling out its collar like...
Yeah, like, oh, I know that feeling. Yeah. And when it's cold outside, the wind is blowing and it's real snowy and cold and and it seems like he shivers too, doesn't he?
When he, at least, I think they might when you walk out of the house, but I know they definitely shiver and they sneeze after you get out of the water.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't touch on this either. They have physical things that your character can, like actions that they can do. If you,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
If you talk to Dr. Shrunk, he was from City Folk, I think originally, but he tells these jokes, if you will, these quote unquote jokes, and if you give him something to eat each day, he does a new one. And when your people come over and stuff, you can interact with them with a shock, laughing and stuff. And if you do it next to a villager, they'll do it with you. And the very last one, you have the Dr. Shrunk dance, and it's so cute. I love it so much. They're all dancing, wiggling their butts. But that ties in with the music, because you do the music there too, and you have an option to buy all these different CDs and have them in your house.
Can you do the Totaka song in this game?
I think you can. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's an option to buy.
Really?
I think so. Good. Well, you can buy them if you upgrade your shop enough. You can buy the different CDs at the store, but there's some of them you have to request though at that.
Yeah, and that
at
would
the
be
Club
one.
LOL. I think that's what it's called.
I liked in the older games you would have to request a song from KK Slider, and Totaka was one of them. And he would play that song, and I love finding those songs in those games.
Yeah, there are a couple I think you have to request. Like, I think you had, like, Happy Birthday and stuff. Mm-hmm. But, otherwise you can buy a majority of them at the actual... Or you can order them through furniture. Which through the camper you can... Catalog? And, too... Again, there's so much gameplay.
I know.
The Street Pass is one of the big things with the 3DS. And when Animal Crossing first came out, it was big. So I would take mine to the mall, and I would tag with, 10, 14 people, a couple people.
Jeez.
And that would just be walking in and out.
Wow.
And they would have their house pops up in the Happy Home Academy or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you could visit their house and order their furniture, assuming it's orderable. Because there was a couple they had downloadable content for a while. They stopped doing it. But there was a couple of them you couldn't reorder and stuff. But you had that option too, which you can get the music from there or the campground now, alternatively.
Nice. Well, yeah. Again, 8 out of 10 I thought was fair. I enjoyed the music. It was forgettable. I couldn't hum a bunch of Animal Crossing tunes other than I
think I want to upgrade my music to maybe a 7.
You're welcome to do that.
I'm going to do that. Mainly because I didn't take into consideration the
house music.
The house music, yeah. And if you're talking sound effects, they had a lot of sound effects too. Just even the sneezing or the dah. And I can't imagine how did they get all those bug sounds? Like all those bugs had different...
I don't know, and they sound
like
legit.
Those bugs. Did you ever collect the spider or scorpion? They can sting you?
No.
No. Just the bee?
Just the bee was my most dangerous bug.
I didn't ever get the scorpion, but I got the tarantula.
Where do you get
at different times of seasons? You can hear them walking, I guess. And you have to be really quick about it. And I actually got the tarantula twice.
Wow.
I don't know, it used to scare me in City Folk. I used to get nervous.
So overall, I gave it a 9 out of 10.
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
It's a really great, fun little game.
Yeah, I love this game.
If you are... It doesn't matter what age you are. If you're just looking for a game to just zone out and enjoy, just playing a game while you're watching TV or playing a game before you go to bed, this is a great game to be able to do that. Yep. You can pick it up anytime. You can pick it up no matter how long it's been since you played it last, and you can just play it and... do your thing.
Yep.
Do your Animal Crossing
or start
thing.
Over.
Yeah,
don't start over. Don't start over. If you got a good game going, don't start over.
It really is fun, and it's fun to play with more people too.
Yeah.
Visiting other people's towns and walking through. It's fun.
I hope they continue with this series.
I'm sure they probably will. It seems like that there's enough people interested that they'll keep it up for a while.
It took a long time to get from City Folk to...
I'm kind of surprised it didn't come out with the Wii U version. I mean, they have this Amiibo Festival thing, which is more like a Mario Party game, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And
I've never played it, but it interacts with the Amiibo.
It's not like an Animal Crossing game. New Leaf, which is that's the newest one so far. I mean, that's the newest official Animal Crossing. The other ones are they're kind of,
I don't know,
spin-offs.
Happy Home Designers kind of.
Yeah, but it's more of a spin-off though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not really the full game. You're really just
true.
designing houses.
Again, if they smashed that game together, like you could go into like you have into town, but if you like went into like the city, I think that would be kind of cool to have Happy Home Designer, because you get to decorate like a cafe and a store.
Right.
You get all these options to these different items that I don't know.
Looking at these dates, we got Animal Crossing for the GameCube. That was 2001.
Oh yeah, so it's about 4 years.
Wild World for the DS, 2005. City Folk for the Wii's, 2008.
And then New Leaf is 2012. So every 4 years. So yeah, that makes sense. It seems like it just came out last year.
Well, it's just, for the game to have come out 4 years ago, we could have reviewed this first. We could review this, years down the road, and we just happened to, and we didn't plan it that way. It was just like we started playing. It's like this update started popping up, and it's like, whoa, this is crazy.
It looks like they do one every 4 years, though. It's kind of, so I guess we can expect a new one in 2020.
Maybe, unless the update isn't a new game.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
So, what did you give this overall, Danny?
My total score was 39.
No, I meant your overall. What was your overall score?
Oh, overall, I already said was 9 out of 10.
Well, I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, nice.
And
Any other notes for overall that you wanted to talk about?
I mean, not really. It's, like we said, it's a great, relaxing game.
Yeah.
It's great if you like those... If you liked... like Harvest Moon and stuff like that. If you don't mind there being no story, just mindless collecting and all that.
If you're a perfectionist for a game, probably wouldn't want to pick this up. You'll be playing this nonstop.
Yeah, it is an endless loop.
I mean, it would take so long to collect everything, but it's a great game. I really have no major complaints with. Very few times that I was cursing this game, and most of the time it was because my bug flew away before I could catch it. That was about it. But no, my total score was a 39 out of 50.
And mine was a 40. Well, I changed 42. My score. Yep. No, it was a 43.
What, did you add more to it?
No. I started with a 5.
Oh, you added 2. That was my mistake.
So I got 43 out of 50. 43, which gave our game
82.
82, so almost a solid B. I think you should curve that to a B.
Alright, well, we'll do a B. No B minus.
We're gonna curve that. The good old curving system.
Yeah, no, it's a great game, and it deserves a B at least. It probably deserves more. We're kind of cheap on our points, so...
I don't know, I thought I was kind of biased in points, but...
Well, yeah, but, I mean, we never give anything... I think this is the highest...
Yeah.
This is the highest we give it.
This is the most 10s so I've
far.
Seen.
Yeah, it was a great game. I enjoyed it, and... I was happy to drop it only because Pokemon came out.
Yeah.
Which is a great segue to, before we get into our thrift shop game review, I kind of wanted to go over our schedule, which is kind of in the middle of the episode, which is weird, but our schedule for the next couple episodes. We have Super Mario World that we're going to play next month, so that'll come out January 1st. And then we're currently playing Pokemon. The new Sun and Moon game that we're going to review February 1st. That'll be out. And then Final Fantasy 15 is coming out. So we're going to be playing that for the next few months too. So
religiously.
Yeah, if we can beat it by what did I say? March? If we can beat it before March 1st, we will review it then. Otherwise, we may push it another month and play another, maybe something like Donkey Kong Country 2 or something a little bit easier
like
for us to knock out in a weekend. But otherwise, it's going to be a lot of Pokemon and Final Fantasy for a while. And we're not going to be streaming those games, so if you guys enjoy watching us stream, you can check out some of our older stuff if you haven't caught up with us. We have Donkey Kong Country, which is oddly popular. That Donkey Kong Country episode has got like 60 listens.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if somebody's just sitting.
Some Donkey King.
Somebody's just sitting there listening to it on repeat.
It's me,
or
actually.
What. But
you're probably watching us make a fool of ourselves.
Well, oh, that's just the episode. That's not the gameplay.
Oh,
yeah. Well. That's just the review episode, the podcast episode. No, the gameplay is on there too, so you can watch that on our YouTube channel. And then we have all of our Pokemon. Final Fantasy 1 is on there. But yeah, you can catch up on all that while we're doing our stuff here for the next few months.
We're gonna be busy with Christmas.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I wanted to drop the streaming for a little while. We'll pick it back up here early next year, so we'll get back into streaming again, because I do enjoy streaming. Yeah. I just needed a little bit of a break, but also it's kind of hard to stream 3DS games for me.
Yeah, I
don't have the cable for it, or the adapter, whatever I need. So let's get into our thrift shop game review.
Yay! Oh. Treasure Planet. Disney's Treasure Planet.
For the PlayStation. We like a lot of Disney games. What's that all about?
It's because they make
a lot of games.
They push out quite a few games that look a little suspicious.
And you can find them at thrift shops really easily.
This one goes along with the Treasure Planet movie that they released, however many, I think it was a while ago.
2002?
Well, that was the game. I don't know when the movie came out.
Well, the game was released in 2002, and we played about an hour of it. We got through the first 2 levels, and it was a lot of fun. It's comparable to maybe Spyro, which is sad because it's a PlayStation 2 game and Spyro is a PlayStation 1 game, but I guess that's why it's at a thrift shop.
I'd play Spyro over this.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Spyro's fun.
Definitely had its down points.
The movements were a little bit too quick and very touchy.
Yeah.
The camera was kind of sucky. Bad. But the gameplay was kind of fun.
It was okay.
I like collecting stuff in that platform action-y kind of way.
It was different. It definitely,
the first level was more platformy, then the second level was this, like, racing game, and I liked that. I liked the different, the change of gameplay, which is rare in a game.
Which sucks, though, if you don't like that type of...
That's true.
Because I did not.
I like difference in gameplay. But we got this, this is a thrift shop game. We actually picked it up at a game store for $2.99. What did you ever figure out?
I couldn't figure it out. The stickers have been on there for so long that I don't think you could tell how much it was originally.
Yeah, I can't read it. And you can watch our play on either Twitch or on our YouTube channel. And again, you can find everything on zapnight.com, where we have links to just about everything. Facebooks, Twitters, Instagrams? Yep. I like Instagram. We got the Teddygrams. Really? I've never used Instagram. I like Instagram because it posts on both Twitter and Facebook with one. So you get like 3 in 1 sort of thing. The problem is you kind of have to post a picture. So, I mean, I don't always want to post a picture, but when I do, I use Instagram. It's kind of nice. Teddygrams. So yeah, if you guys have anything you want to send us, some feedback on our episodes, shoot us an email. And again, you can find everything on our zapnight.com. Zap Night. Thanks for listening, guys, and we will catch you next month for Super Mario Brothers. Yay! Bye-bye!